Weather Talk with Anna and Emily. Hey, this is good practice for people, you know. Like,
meteorology, that's a good word.
Meteorology, yes.
The study of meteors.
Yeah, I love them. I always used to wish on them when they flew past.
Nice. I got out my telescope and started doing calculations.
Yeah, nerd. That's what we call you in the streets.
23 and I still get bullied.
Hey, bullying transcends all ages. You can get bullied.
Yes, it builds character. That's what I always told
What
everyone.
it does, it goes inside your muscles. And every time you get bullied, your muscles get bigger and bigger. And then you can punch a bully when you're, like, old enough. Just punch a table. I just wait for karma to do its thing that normally works. But no. This I have a feeling. I have a gut feeling that this episode will actually be very useful for people. Simply because English people do nothing but talk about the weather. And I thought that was something that exclusively belongs to people in the UK. But then when I went to Spain, I discovered that people in Spain also do nothing but talk about the weather.
But I mean, the weather affects most people on the planet, so I feel like most people like talking about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a really important topic, so I guess it's probably for the best that we're talking about it today.
Exactly.
Hello and welcome to the Road to B2 podcast, the weather episode, where we just sit and nag and complain about the weather.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And you're forced to listen.
Yeah, welcome. So we've had some particularly spicy weather recently. I don't know about you, Anna.
Ooh. I mean, yeah, it's been a very warm summer. It's been, yeah.
It sounds like you may be struggling a little. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Where have you spent the majority of your summer?
In Finland.
Yeah, what part of Finland?
The southern part.
You've been in Helsinki this entire time?
Well, no, I've also been in Lahti, but that's also southern Finland, so that's fine.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. Good point. I always get, in my head, I think because I went to both places, I keep getting Pori and Lahti mixed up. So, like, I'm just like, it's Western Finland, Anna. In reality, I'm like, no, it's not, Emily.
Emily gets cancelled for not knowing where Finnish cities are.
To all of my Finnish people out there, anteeksi. This is a big sorry. Very sorry. But no, I remember being in your flat in Helsinki, and even though the weather was pretty moderate, it was roasting and toasting in there because you're so high up.
It's the worst, honestly. I'm hoping that when you come here next time, it won't be this hot, because right now I'm at home in Lahti because I can't be in that apartment. I'm dying. What about England? You've broken some records, haven't you?
Don't touch me about breaking records. It's not, to be honest with you, the places where the records were broken were close to airports, so I don't really think it was that hot in a lot of those places. But I can't deny that the weather has definitely been scorchio, as we say in England. It's been very, very hot. We got to, I think it was 36 degrees here in Sheffield a couple of weeks ago. It was only for 2 days. We had a very short heat wave where we had a couple of days of kind of extreme heat, especially for English people. And right now we have another more moderate heat wave. So it's about, 25, 27 degrees over the course of about a week. I think it's going to stop next week. Thank God. But yes, it's been very difficult for me. It's kind of unexpected, no? Because I escaped Madrid for the same reason that you escaped your flat in Helsinki. I just couldn't handle it anymore. And I feel like I have gone from one hot place to another hot place that can't handle the heat, because we still have carpets and insulation and all of these different things.
Oh, God. Yeah, I mean, your luck when you come to Finland, it'll be like 32 again, probably.
Knowing me. But it's alright though, because I can get a nice tan. That's what I'm aiming for this summer. I want to get a nice bronze look on my skin because I'm always very pale.
Yeah, I can't do that. I just burn. There's no in between.
Same, honestly. It's, to be fair though, I'm okay, I'm going to tell you a secret, and maybe many English people will disagree with me, but I think that those people are liars. English people, right? We see nice weather and we would kill another person just to be in that nice weather. So, like, we need to put suntan lotion on, right? Factor 30, factor 50. Make sure that you don't burn in this terrible heat. But the average Englishman sees the sun and says, I am not scared of you, Mr. Sun. I am going to stand outside with my clothes off and you can burn all of me and I don't even care.
Oh my god.
It's true. It's not I'm just kidding, because I think a lot of people are a bit more cautious, especially now that it's really, really hot. But I feel like it's just the urge to go outside and just tan. You just really, really want to tan, but all English people are very pale, so we just go red instead.
I've noticed that in the UK though, like you guys really like self-tan as well. Like, people just seem to want to tan. Yeah, it's so interesting.
They say that it's, like, more common in Ireland. But I don't think that's true, because when I went to school, like secondary and college, I think people sort of grow out of it maybe in their 20s, 30s. But people just are obsessed with putting on, like, creams and things like that to make their skin go a different colour. I don't like that. I prefer the more natural ways to do that. Especially because if you put self-tan on, or like tanning, it's called tanning lotion, like you shove some brown cream on your face and then problem solved. You put these things on and then you put your clothes on and then it stains your clothes, so there's no point. It just seems really silly.
Oh yeah, and what about if you have white sheets?
Exactly. It's going to look like somebody did a little poo on your sheets, and that's not what
A little
poo.
entire...
Maybe a bigger one. But it just sounds really complicated to me. I never really understood the logistics of it. Like, maybe when they sleep, they just sleep, like, inside, like, a cocoon, and then they wrap the blanket around themselves. That's another problem. Yeah. When it's hot, it's impossible to sleep. Do you find it difficult to sleep when it's hot?
Well, not really.
No? Okay.
No, I think I'm quite, like, yeah, sometimes. If it's, like, 35 degrees, and it's been 35 degrees for several days, and my apartment has become boiling, maybe then. But I'm a very good sleeper. I can fall asleep anywhere, really. What about you?
I think the problem with me is that I don't sleep enough, so when I finally sleep, I'm already unbelievably tired, so it's easier for me to actually sleep. So it doesn't matter what weather it is, I'll just pass out. I don't mind. But I know some students at the moment that are finding it so difficult to sleep in Spain that they are sleeping on their balconies outside to get a little bit of a breeze, especially in the south of Spain. It's always like this. The weather is just evil in the south of Spain every year. Yeah, but
that's crazy,
I thought that was quite funny. But they said it's quite nice. It sounds weird, no? But apparently it's quite nice when the cool breeze is hitting you.
I mean, I guess, yeah, that's true, to be honest. Because in my room, I sleep under my window, like the part of the window that you open that has the mosquito net in it. I don't know if that's an international thing or just a Finnish thing, but there's a part of the window that opens and there's a mosquito net, so nothing flies in.
Yeah.
And I sleep under it, and it's really cold in the night. So it's wonderful to just have it. But now I have a cough because of it, because it's just not
That's
good.
another problem. Yeah, that's another problem. Like, there's only two solutions in the face of... Okay, maybe three. Depends. In the case of a heat wave, you can turn on your air conditioning, which will make you sick. You can turn on your fan, which will make you sick. Or you can open your window, which will make you sick. There's no solution.
Yeah. There's no avoiding it. But to be honest, I would rather suffer with a little bit of coughing than be miserable, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I've had a cough. I'm surprised because in summer, at least in Madrid, it's so hot that whenever you have a cold, you don't notice it because you're just sweating so much anyway. But I've had like a cough and a cold for the past month or so now. And I keep thinking, oh, it must be an allergy. And then I'm thinking, like, what is it? Is it, do I have like a fan just blowing in my face all the time? And I do think it actually has to do with the air conditioning that we have in the UK. It's too cold. We're not accustomed to using air conditioning. So when you're going to a supermarket, it's always absolutely freezing. Whereas in Spain, the air conditioning is a little bit, warmer. Because they know how to acclimatize. English people just go, right, time to put the air conditioning on 12 degrees and set it off.
That's true.
Yeah, it's dangerous as well. You've got to look after yourself because
and you sweat a lot, obviously, when it's really hot, so you have to drink a lot of water. Remember, everyone, keep hydrated.
Please drink your waters, because I think a lot of people get very excited. They go out, maybe they spend time with friends, and rather than drinking water, they just forget, or even worse, they only drink alcohol, like beer and things like this. A lot of people put themselves in danger of what we call sunstroke, where you sort of turn your head into an oven and you fry your brain. And it's a really easy thing to do, especially when you're someone that works outside, or maybe you're just spending the day outside and you don't normally do it. So I think that the best thing to do, don't walk out in the sun, stay in the shade, stay hydrated, avoid sunstroke. This is the key.
Yeah, and also heat stroke when it's really warm. You can get a heat stroke too. Just so many strokes.
I think heat stroke is probably is not. I was going to say it's not so bad, but in comparison to a normal stroke, but but it is pretty nasty because you can like vomit. You can cause yourself irreparable damage as well. So I think that's why it's so important. And English people, we're so focused on having a good time that it's very easy to forget that you can cause yourself lots of damage doing that. So
especially because a lot of people, when it's really hot, you want like a refreshing beverage, and a lot of the time that refreshing beverage is alcoholic. Like in Finland, everyone downs Lonkero all the time when it's hot, but it's alcohol. You have to remember to drink water, and even though it's not fun,
And I have a question just for the fans of what you just said, i.e. me, and people who don't know what Lonkero is. Can you please describe Lonkero to the audience?
Lonkero is an incredible Finnish drink.
It's the best thing in the world, known to man.
Yeah, it's the best and the worst thing. Leads to nothing good. But it's fun for a while. It's this like gin or vodka based long drink, I guess. It's like basically, it's like a canned cocktail.
We always use the word can for drinks and tin for foods.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's weird because but I've also heard like people say tin for drinks and can for foods as well, but I feel like in a general sense, tin is more commonly used for food and can is more commonly used for drinks.
Interesting. Yeah. I would call it a canned cocktail. It's like a really, really bad attempt like a gin and tonic type of beverage with lots of sugar and just made really cheaply into a can.
Yes,
it's great.
It's the best thing in the world. Longito is very dangerous. I feel like if you were out with your friends and somebody said, hey, why don't we all get a couple of cans of that long drink? And you'd be like, oh, it's like juice, it's fine. And then 3 hours later, you've forgotten your name and you're in a different country. All these different things, like, how did this happen? I don't understand. That's the feeling that Longito brings to me. In fact, they've started selling it in the UK.
What, more of it? More than the 3 pubs in Liverpool?
Yeah. So they've started. So they started selling it to other parts of the UK now. I think it's Leeds as well. I'm not sure though. Or they keep saying that they're going to do it and they haven't done it yet, but who knows?
People are going to forget it's Finnish. That happens with everything that's Finnish. Finnish people do something, other people start using it, people forget it's Finnish and no one knows that Finland exists.
Yeah, Finland's not a real country though, so I guess that's probably why that happens. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, Angry Birds came from Sweden, right?
Oh god, okay, I'm disconnecting the call.
Ending the episode here. I can't talk to you anymore. That's the end.
Anyway, let's continue. Drought.
Longito. We were on the topic of Longito.
Yes, the greatest topic, which leads to drought in your body.
True. You're absolutely right. If you drink too much, to be honest, if you drink too much Longito, you're probably going to suffer from being very thirsty for actual water and actual nourishment. And this is the thing that a lot of English people are worried about at the moment, drought. Anna, could you tell us what drought is?
Drought.
That's right. So drought is a funny one because people, the main definition of drought is that there's no rainfall, and when there's no rainfall, we have no running water, or we will inevitably run out of running water where we don't have any anymore. And a lot of people are very nervous about that in England every single year because, of course, the UK is just a small island, right? I think people get really nervous about that. And even after maybe 2 weeks or so without rain in the UK, the talks of drought tend to appear, and this is what is happening now. We've had a few days where we haven't had any rain. It's not even been 2 weeks because there was rain a few days ago, but that's just how it is. And now that there hasn't been very much rain, people are starting to panic. They may be banning certain uses of water in certain situations. For example, you can't use the back garden tap to water your garden because this is considered to be too much water. They're considering imposing this as like a rule at the minute, prohibiting using your back garden for like water, like hose. It's called a hose pipe ban. So you stop using your hose pipe to water your garden because there's not enough water. But they always say this, every year is the same. They go, oh, we're going to do a hose pipe ban. Oh, we're going to do it. And then they never do it. So the water gets restricted, Use of water does get restricted in certain places, especially in the UK, just because it's so small. But it happens every year and people panic about it. But there's really no reason to panic. But you told me before that this doesn't happen in Finland, right?
No, I mean we're the country of 100,000 lakes. I don't think we can run out of water. Like there's just so much.
Like you try to drink all the water. Like, come on, please.
There's just so many. What are they called? Like
reservoirs?
No, it's a spring, isn't it?
As a source. Do you mean as a source of water, or do you mean a supply of water? Because as a supply, a source would be a spring, yeah. And a supply would be a reservoir.
Or the anyway, there's a lot of water in Finland. There's never been talk of drought, I don't think. No. It's more about like the fires. but never about drinking water or like just running water in general.
Yeah, we've had some interesting situations in the UK where like people's houses are randomly setting on fire. And they keep on the BBC. They keep like, instead of saying why the house set on fire, they keep saying like, "Oh, a heat wave," and I'm like, no. Why did the house set on fire? I want to know why. Like, you can't just say it's been really hot. Like it doesn't get to 40 degrees in Sheffield and then just poof, like your house doesn't just explode because the weather's really hot. So whenever I see these, I'm just like, okay, but why though? We just unanswered questions from the UK's news service, but
the people investigating are just like blinded by the heat. They have a sunstroke.
Probably that's probably it. They just like they get really hot and then they go, oh, it's because of the hot, and then they just write, it is because hot outside. Print, send, done. Right? And I mean, of course, I'm not a climate change expert. I don't pretend to be one. But I just want to know why houses in London keep setting on fire. That's just my question. Because, trees, when it's very dry, trees in Spain, like, catch fire quite easily because they're so dry. And it happens in the United States as well. Especially over there because it is super, super dry. But we haven't really had any instances of trees doing this in the UK because it's not really I don't think it's very possible. But it's always like houses. And a couple of days ago, I went out to a place in the UK called Doncaster. And we were just walking like through like this on this path, and we saw like a fire in the distance. This is huge plumes of black smoke, and we were like, what on earth is going on over there? And I had a look on Google to see if there was any incidents, and it said industrial estate on fire, and we were like, what? How?
How?
And then they said climate change, and I was like, stop calling it climate change. Give me a reason.
That is crazy.
Oh my god.
Do you have a lot of wooden houses in the UK? Why are things all setting on fire?
I know. I mean, like, I'm pretty sure all of my stuff is made out of bricks. Now I feel like I have to check. I'm so confused. It's a very interesting situation at the moment in the UK because lots of people, I think it's a combination of nerves. People are a bit worried about the drought, as they are every year. They're worried about it being hot outside. My favourite thing is that we worry about it being hot outside, and then we spend all of our money going on holidays to places that are hotter than the place that we live in. It's like, what? You can't win. But this is fine. It's fine. Anyway,
that's actually why this year me and my family and I, not me and my family and I, decided to go on a holiday in September, when it's minus 20 degrees in Finland.
Yeah.
Because the summer has been so warm.
Yeah, have a little staycation, a vacation at home. It's the best thing to do because if you are enjoying the weather where you are, you might as well take advantage, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's just how it is. I mean, of course, all of the conspiracy theories and things that we've talked about today, we're just making jokes. But what is absolutely important is that you should stay hydrated, stay in the shade, get a tan if you can. Unless you're like Anna and I, where we just burn, then stay in the shade and don't get a tan. And make sure you have a good time, right?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I thought you were going to say what's important is that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Spotify, leave us a rating on Spotify.
Do all of these different things. Make it like a job for you to just advertise for us, and we will just sit here and enjoy.
Exactly.
But yes, there's nothing stopping you while you're in the shade, relaxing, listening to a couple of episodes, subscribing to the channel. But yes, make sure to look after yourselves, and we'll see you next week if we both haven't burned ourselves to a crisp.
Yes. See you next week, guys.
Have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment below if you have any questions related to the topic, and we will try our best to respond to you. Please subscribe to the channel for a new podcast episode every Saturday, as well as essential tips during the week. See you next time!